we've imposed a lot of restrictions on you already. The government has taken the advice of our health and police, who've worked together on presenting these to us yesterday, that we will be implementing curfews in those local government areas of concern from Monday. From 9 p.m. to 5 a.m, you cannot leave your home. I just want to stress, and I'll use the words Dr. Chant used with us only this morning, that she regards what is happening now in New South Wales as a national emergency, and our government will be responding accordingly. Please know that we are not the type of government, and I'm not the type of Premier, that's going to be asking citizens to do things we don't think are going to have any effect. Right? So whenever I get questions about curfews or exercise or whatever else, the facts are that will not change the dial. That will not reduce the number of cases. You can ask me all those questions night and day that you like, but I'm not going to sit here or I'm not going to put any imposition on the community which isn't going to have the desired effect.
Given that we are going backwards here, do we now need to see a ring of steel put in place, a curfew put in place?
Firstly, can I say the New South Wales Government will always consider options which will reduce case numbers. The New South Wales Government doesn't have any intention of putting in strategies that aren't going to work.
The Premier said before that further restrictions won't work. The advice has come from you. Why won't they work? A ring of steel?
So look, I didn't take that from what the Premier had said, but the Premier... Oh, sorry. I didn't take that from what the Premier had said.
The direct word was they won't work.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry, this is a very important point. I was asked about specific actions and why they weren't taken, and I said very clearly that if we need to do more, of course we would, based on the health advice, but we're not in the business of putting in provisions or asking people to do things if they're not going to have an effect in reducing the case numbers.
Specific measures,
but they have to be
curfews and ring of steel.
Right.
Your view is they will not reduce the case numbers.
Well,
I'm asking Dr. Chant why they won't reduce the case numbers.
In relation to those matters, if we thought that they would have a significant or even marginal impact, of course we'd do those things. But there is no evidence to suggest that's the case.
So in general terms, we need to further decrease mobility, and the community needs to adhere to the orders.
And would a curfew, by decreased mobility, have a significant or even a marginal impact on the spread of cases?
Look, I think the evidence about curfews is not strong, but I think what I'm concerned about is the crowding in shopping centres and places where we have seen transmission events in small shops.
Are you considering curfews or a ring of steel? If nothing has worked so far, if that doesn't work?
I'll ask the Police Commissioner to address this issue, but obviously all of those issues are considered and canvassed, and police have given us their advice on what we must do to reduce people doing the wrong thing.
I won't be asking for any additional police or health orders at the moment, because we need to give this strategy a chance. Every strategy takes 7 to 14 days, whether it's a police strategy or a health strategy, to see what impact that has on the COVID numbers.
The government has taken the advice of our health and police, who've worked together on presenting these to us yesterday, that we will be implementing curfews in those local government areas of concern from Monday. From 9 p.m. to 5 a.m, you cannot leave your home.
Saying it was only media pressure that caused the curfew decision?
Well, you've just heard what the
Dr. Chan has said, there's no question that police and health advise the government in relation to curfews.
Well, that's not what you said yesterday, is it?
Hang on. What I said was, firstly, I was asked about a question in relation to Dubbo. Would I impose a curfew on Dubbo? And I said, no, I would not. And the reason I would not is if you look at Victoria, they've had a curfew from day one. And what has it done to their rate? Their rate's accelerating, and we're seeing their numbers continue like that. But in Western Sydney and South Western Sydney, we're at a point of crisis. There was no question that we had escalating numbers, and therefore we looked at other tools and measures in relation to dampening or suppressing what was occurring. And therefore, on the advice of police and on the advice of health, the government made a decision about curfews. If you take everything I said in context, you would agree with that.
Pleasingly, after receiving advice from both police and health, given we've hit that 80% milestone across the state, we're able to lift the curfew in those areas of concern from tonight.